Okay, we're good.
We're good. So today I have the honor to welcome everybody to this hangout game of the Gauntlet community, another game of the Warren, a game about sad or happy rabbits. That's up to us to see. At least they are quite animalistic rabbits, but have some anthropomorphic features on them, and they have a quality which is called to innovate, where they can be Warren and rabbit qualities. That's the third session. We haven't recorded last week because I was also supposed to run and I had technical difficulties, and Toma was so nice and took over, but we did. So this time we're back and we survived a fascist Warren rabbit regime, and we had a little exodus, and now our 4 little rabbits are in a new and we have time to introduce ourselves. Since we all already play together, we are all aware already of the X card and passivity procedures. Fast forward. Is there anything you would like to exclude in this session specifically? We had fascist regimes last time.
You cut out briefly, Garrett, but I know what you were asking, which is about lines and veils.
Exactly.
And
yeah.
I prefer to have no rape or sexual assault of rabbits, if that's okay. So, but otherwise, I'm good.
And violence against animals is explicitly on the table.
Yeah, that's the one thing that normally is behind the line, but kind of hard to put behind the line on this one. So
yeah, it's not violence by humans, most likely, since we play in a desert, which is not inhabited by humans, as it seems like. Well, it could happen, but it doesn't look like. And therefore, I think, like, since no humans are there to do violence against animals, I think violence from animals to animals is much easier to bear. So I hope my connection is better again, and if it doesn't, then we have like 4 super GMs here in the in the hangout to take over in any case. Cool. So why don't we start with introducing our rabbits? And we have one new rabbit from Tyler, and their name is Marsh.
Marsh is he's a fairly tough rabbit. He's always felt like that it was his duty to take care of the Warren. He has a little bit of a martial streak to him. He likes for rabbits to make sure they're watching out for each other, following orders, keeping an eye out. There are plenty of dangers out there. It is up to each and every one of us to know what is best for the Warren, know what is best for our fellow rabbits, and to take it to the ultimate limit of being a strong, decent citizen of the Warren.
I'm sure you are, and you very much sound like. I already have quite a respect for you. And, so Ashpaw, Jason, tell us about Ashpaw.
Ashpaw is brand new to the Warren. I think I kind of hooked up with you guys in the middle of your exodus, probably, or something like that. I come from a terrible Warren made of glass and metal, and is also very cold. And I had no name, actually. You have all taken to calling me Ashpaw because my paws are like burnt, like the fur is like burned, and my coat is tattered. I look like I've got like little nicks and scars and numbers all over, like maybe in a couple of bald spots, right? And I took the move Dead Eyes, which basically lets me zone out, and whenever I do that, I get to I can mark a scar to reduce all my panic. So.
I'm really sure I want to see that.
Yeah, I'm playing the PTSD rabbit, basically. So, content warning for PTSD play. So,
all right. And then we have 2 returning rabbits. Like, rabbits live short, but 2 made it from last chapter to this chapter, and one of them is Brickle, played by Harry. Harry, what do you have to tell us about Brickle?
Brickle is a very small rabbit. He's young, but even for a young rabbit, he's small. But he makes up for that with a big, friendly personality. He is a rabbit that knows all the other rabbits, goes and checks on them, listens to their stories, trades gossip. He's just very happy and young and naive, and he's very happy to now be able to play with all the rabbits that have escaped. There's a bunch of new rabbits that weren't part of the original warren, that had come to our original warren for refuge, and then the blackbird took over and everything grew very dark, but many of those new rabbits have escaped to the new warren, and they're good playmates for Brickle.
So one of your siblings also escaped. That is little Prickle, played by Luke.
Yeah, Prickle's also quite a small rabbit, and he's had a bit of a tough life. He's probably a similar kind of raggedness to Ashpaw, I guess, but it's more through many close scrapes with death. So because he's so easily influenced, he's very simple. He's been dared a lot of times to do stupid things like run out into like run further out onto the edges of the desert than other rabbits have done, and so he's had all these close kind of escapes. And part of the thing of being easily influenced is that he's got this attitude that everything's a game, and he'll move from social situation to social situation as if it's a fun game. But one little interesting thing happened was when the rabbits in the last episode or last chapter met a sage. He had this interesting conversation where he had a realization that he wasn't very smart, and had a conversation about maybe how he could listen to himself a little bit more. And also I think he's now thinking of himself as Spike instead of Prickle, but we'll see if he actually tells anyone about it or not.
Yeah, so thank you very much for character introduction. I spent like a minute for the setting. It's a setting by Sarah, I think.
No, it's Marissa Kelly.
Marissa Kelly has made it, thank you. And it's called The Painted Desert. And the Painted Desert is like a red desert, a big, large, beautiful desert, but kind of deadly. And we have seen already some predators there. And let's see which predators we might face this time. But the good thing is, a desert is also like a giant sandbox. And a sandbox is something we can play together in, I would say. And therefore, I would like to ask each of you like for an opening question to think about. We make a short break and then we start our play. And for the opening questions, I also hope that I get some input on how the new warren looks like. I mean, your rabbits could contribute to how this warren actually looks like. And so from Brickle, one of the oldest rabbits by now, or one could nearly say.
That's not a good sign.
No, indeed, but with a smile. From you, I thought like you could tell me, because you are very social rabbit, so you know a lot about other rabbits. I think you were also last time the one who told me that Blackbird might be a good leader. This time I would ask you something very simple, which is like, who's the most beautiful or attractive rabbit in the warren, and why is that important for you?
Okay.
Yeah. So maybe it's one of the other players, but we can also have like one or two C's around, I would say. Then Ashpaw. Like you are from a very, very different place. In which sense do you consider life very, very different than the rabbits you have met here? Like, what is things very differently than they do? That could be already on the brink to an innovate move, but I would say we can later see that in the play. But like, what is something which possibly the others find disturbing, or what they do find disturbing? Whatever. And Marsh, you're the one who's like, I guess, called like whenever there's a danger coming close, or that because can warn the others in time. So why was it that the New Warren was built so deep under the ground? So why are the tunnels really deep and not closer to the surface, which would have made it much easier to build them?
Okay.
And last but not least, Prickle. So you are not in touch anymore with Blackbird, as it seems, but you have completely disconnected to him, right? Yeah, good. Okay, then I would like to know from you, because you're still Prickle. That's how I felt it. Even if you think you might start to change, there's a scorpion living in this warren. And why didn't you tell anybody? What has the scorpion told you not to tell, or what was the reason? Yeah, totally free there. Why didn't you tell them? Maybe it's too dangerous. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so let's have a very short break, and 10 past, wherever it is where you are, how late it is, see you again. Bye. back. It's a wonderful day at our new warren. And the oldest and wisest of the rabbits around, which is Brickle, I insist on, is the one who has the honor to point on the map of the Painted Desert playset, say where our wonderful warren is located. Have the map in front of you?
Yes, I have it in front of me. There's a place called Refuge, I think, that's kind of right in the center of the map in those little green bushes. That looks like a pretty nice place to have a warren.
Hills around, yeah. Reflected by the wind.
Some green, some places to hide.
Oh, so nice. And then we have the rabbit with the freshest mind, because it's coming from out of the desert. It's Ashpaw. I think it's Ashpaw's idea how to name the warren. To give this place a name where you live. Some whisper of the young rabbits when they are litter. They always can feel safe.
Say that last bit one more time, Garrett.
Where the young litter is whispered to where they can feel safe, the name of the place, where they always can feel safe.
And so I'm naming the warren.
You have the honor to name the warren.
I call it simply the warm place.
So it might be very warm because it's also very deep, round. But we have one rabbit who knows why the tunnels are so deep. Marsh, can you tell us about that?
Well, our last warren had been shallowly dug, and when the troubles came around and there were difficulties, we discovered that it was far too pressed, that there had been too much, we had been too close together, and fighting underground can become quite a difficult thing. Now we've decided we're going deeper. We're going to go further down, and we're going to make runs across the top where we can come up and wrap around should something come into our warrens. We can flank them. We can move around with our knowledge of the warren that they do not have, and we shall use strategy to defeat them in the future.
Do the others listen to you while you're talking like that, or?
I like to think they do. The idea being that if you say it loud enough and with enough force, people will agree with you.
Sure. Those who get it, at least. What you're talking about. All right. And there's also a scorpion living somewhere, but hidden. Hasn't been discovered by the others yet. Although one rabbit knows about it.
Yeah, I think Prickles met a scorpion deep down in the warren, and it's a I think he's playing a game where he's another rabbit called Spike, and Spike doesn't do anything that the other rabbits tell him to do. He just does what he wants to do, and so Spike is I think maybe Marsh has talked to like lots of the rabbits about warning everyone if there's dangerous things in the warren, and Spike's decided, Prickle has decided that he's not going to tell anyone about it. It's a way for him to test out this new game of not doing what people tell you to do.
It's all a game again. Ah, I see. Same, but different. This Prickle. Okay, maybe on a different level now. What's the name of the scorpion? There's one in the book which is Vash, but it's up to Prickle.
I think I'm going to go with Sting.
Sting, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good scorpion. Yeah.
Solid.
Solid. Okay. And there's as I said, it's a beautiful day and in the Warren, and you're still accommodating. All the rabbits are very busy, and but there's like, and Brickle, you're also very busy, but there's this one rabbit which causes your attention again and again. Why is that?
You must be speaking of Lily.
Lily.
Lily. Lily is one of the rabbits that came from another warren. And she's got this luscious, dark, like chocolate brown coat, which is very much darker and unusual among our rabbits. But the thing that really catches Brickle's attention about Lily is her name. It calls forth the idea of this watery place where there's greenery everywhere and lots to eat, and it's cool. And so she just comes across as being very exotic and very desirable because of that.
Oh, cool. You want to have an opportunity to talk with her?
Sure, I like to talk to all rabbits, and I make it my business to go around and talk to rabbits. And if Lily is over there, I will put aside what I'm doing, which is maybe like doing some cleanup in the tunnels, and hop over to her and just kind of look over her shoulder and say, "Hi, Lily, how's it going?"
She's turning around.
Oh,
You must be Brickle.
yes, my name's Brickle.
How comes you know my name?
Oh, I've heard other rabbits talking about you. When I play outside with the other rabbits and run around, someone said, "Why isn't Lily here? Lily should come out and play." And I said, "Who's Lily?" And they said, "Oh, it's that chocolate rabbit." So why don't you play with us?
We are very busy. We are building tunnels. We are building tunnels deep into the ground now.
Yes. But you
You
have
can
to
come
play
help us.
still. What? I'm sorry, I missed that, Garrett.
You can come help us. It's a new tunnel. Deep inside.
Oh, you want help? Okay, I'd love to help.
Yes, please. I like the way how you pronounce my name. They all say Lolly.
No, it's Lily.
It's Lily, yes. And then she's hopping away to the place where she's working.
All right, I'll follow her.
Yeah. Yeah, and it feels like lilies in your stomach, doesn't it? Maybe in her stomach there's some prickle. Or prickle, who knows? Hopefully not prickle. Yeah.
Get away, Pickle.
Good, nice. Yeah. Prickle, that's problematic. Where they are about to build the tunnel is where Sting is living. They shouldn't get too close to Sting, should they?
No, they shouldn't.
No. And I mean, you're all around, like Marsh and Ashpo. If you like to enter the scene, feel free. Because yeah, Prickle seems to sit just the way. What's going on there?
Brickle, you really should be getting about digging. I'm telling you, we must dig deeper. The deeper we go, the safer we'll be.
I think Prickle's not smart enough to really try to deception. but I think maybe he's just looking super nervous and fidgety. But I think maybe if it's possible, he might try to like help with the digging, maybe, but try to lead it away a bit from where it's intended to go to. But yeah, he's just hopping around super, like, obviously nervous.
Lad, what's wrong with you? Something bothering you? You seem to be, well, your tail's all quiver and your ears are all down.
Nothing. I think I'm just gonna run away.
Wow.
Having heard you say that we need to go down deeper, Brickle wants to show off. He will try to go like a vertical tunnel down, practically.
Oh no.
All right. Yeah. You could try that. Very deep down.
Yes. He's digging to the extent that he can. He's a small rabbit, but he's trying.
Yeah, I somehow had in mind that there is a move for that.
Yes, there is dig.
There is. There's dig, yes. I don't know why I don't see that on the basic move list.
It's on the special moves.
It's a special move because it happens so rarely. Not in our world. Not in our world. Not in the warm. Name was the
Warm place.
Warm place, yes. Not in the warm place. So, dig into the ground! Because otherwise, Marsh seems to get the attention from Lily.
Come on, Brickle! All right, he rolled a 7, but his strength is only -1. So his short little juvenile legs are scratching at the ground, but not doing much digging.
No, lad, a bit harder. Down this way, old boy, this way. I'll try to aid him. Or help.
A help move, okay, to get a tiny little +1 here. Yeah, do that.
All right.
So that makes sense to also roll with strong.
Let's see, it rolls with strong?
Yeah.
Appropriate, yeah. Okay, then I got my dice changed.
Do we have a roll for your party room, by the way?
I do. I could share
maybe you
it
can
out.
share the link, yeah.
Okay. Hang on just 1 second, I'll get it up there. All right. There we are. And I rolled a 6 plus my 2 gives me an 8.
Which brings Breaker up to a 7.
And tied our fate together.
Yes. Yes, you are.
All right,
so you can choose one from the list, yeah.
All right. Well, I think I only dig enough space to squeeze myself into. So I'm trying. I'm struggling. I can't move much earth though, but luckily I'm small. I turn around and look. Where's Lily? Where's Marsh? Why aren't they following me? Oh, there they are. They're right there, right behind me.
Well, you built your tunnel. It is a success. However, it doesn't look so elegant the way you built that, and with squeezing back and forth together with Marsh, where the whole Warren is looking, and it's a little bit embarrassing. But in the end, you manage. However, while you do that, Prickle, you can see that Sting, the scorpion, is running away without notice and running straight into Ash's paw. The scorpion is small, even for a rabbit. But every rabbit, at least, who lives in the desert knows how dangerous it is. Ashbor, you haven't told us yet how different your life was and what that means for now living in the desert.
Well, the main difference back in my old life when my name was Pen B Subject 0194, it was very cold. And I don't call this place the warm place because we're underground. I call this place the warm place because all the rabbits are together. Our warren, we did not live next to each other. We had very little contact with each other. In fact, the only thing we knew of each other was we sometimes were able to communicate, and we taught each other a very interesting skill, a skill that allowed some of us to escape, which is we could enter a state of catatonia that essentially slowed down our breathing and heart rate to where, for all intents and purposes, we appeared dead. And when in this state, we also make no sounds whatsoever. We are as if dead to the world. And so, yeah, the closeness of these rabbits is interesting to me, but I'm not good at it yet, to the point where certain rabbits, like Brickle, or maybe Prickle, whichever one's the really friendly one, are a bit like they, it startles me quite a bit. The scorpion, if I see it, I will consider it curiously. It is not nearly the most frightening thing I've ever seen.
But it is. And I frightening every rabbit here.
I consider the creature and I say, for what purpose are you here?
I was here long before any rabbit ever was. You are my guests.
Ah, I see. And I take it. Does he seem hostile? Is he like threatening me, or is he just kind of having a conversation right now?
I think for every other rabbit, he would be seen as very hostile and threatening. But it seems that's not the case for somebody with your experience. However, you see, there is Prickle coming from behind. Prickle. Yeah.
What are you doing here, Sting? Sting, what are you doing? Go back down into your hole. You're meant to hide from everybody else.
Desert Rabbit, do you know this creature?
This is Sting. It's Sting.
Sting.
Thank you, Prickle, for introducing me. Why is this rabbit not afraid of scorpions?
I will consider the creature and say, you are very small. For what reason would I have to be frightened of you?
The scorpion crawls forward and hits his tail into your fur.
Does he actually sting me though, or is he just like threatening me?
He's actually stinging you.
I think this might be one of those like new rabbit moves where I'm a Bene Gesserit. I have mastered my physiology, okay? And I've mastered my physiology to where I can like resist such things. I've had so many drugs pumped in me. This is probably nothing, okay?
Probably.
But I don't know. So I shall try to innovate.
Yeah. Try to innovate, yes. So, if you're pumped full of different drugs and turn turned the scientists crazy because of your tricks you learned how to destroy their experiments. Roll plus. Well, what is it?
It's nothing. It's
Is it
just
steady
plus.
or is it truth?
It's
Yeah,
innovate
true.
is nothing. You just roll.
Yeah, true. The first innovation is nothing. Yeah. Oh.
And I got a 5, so
I
have a feeling it's not going well.
Well, certain things which might already be in don't react well together, as it seems with scorpion poison. Do you have an idea how they could react badly together? How does your fur react?
I think what might happen is that I just begin like convulsing. I think I just begin like convulsing in place, and like a little trickle of blood like starts coming out of my eyes.
I think you take some panic here, right?
Panic or a scar, I think would probably be fine too. But I'll take panic for sure. How much do you want me to take? Just one, I guess.
It is one for the sting and one for the reaction in your body.
Okay.
And
I think it would be fair if Prickle totally freaked out now as well.
You get a panic as well, right? Prickle. Yeah.
But I otherwise just sit there very, very still, and I'm just kind of like quivering a little bit as this poison, like I think I can feel it, just like shaking up my insides a little bit, right? And I just have like a little trickle of blood that comes out of my eye, and I think I just pass out. So.
Mm-hmm. And you hear the voice of the scorpion of Sting whispering in your ear while you are passing out. You're a strange rabbit. I think we will see each other again. But for now, this little ink of my sting should be a lesson for you. Prickle. Tell this doe shall not talk about me, otherwise it will be Sting again. Don't forget, you get 1 point in our game if you do so.
I think that actually calms Prickle down. He was freaking out and he's like, yeah, okay. It's our game.
Okay.
Don't tell anyone about the scorpion.
Mm-hmm.
I think Prickle would tell Sting that they're digging down towards where she usually hangs out as well. And if she wants me to do anything about it.
There's it doesn't take long that the tunnel is finally done, and the proud rabbits building tunnels coming out of their newly built construction, still quite occupied with all the success they had, even if it's a very tiny tunnel, and it's just one rabbit going through there at the same time. But still, Brickle, you see Ashpaw there on the ground, and he's passed out. And Prickle is nearby. This shouldn't have happened.
Prickle, what's going on? Is Ashpaw asleep?
Yeah, she was just having a nap. She was just talking to herself, and then she went to sleep. He looks kind of satisfied with his attempt at lying. And he's very bad attempt at lying.
Prickle, you have to learn to talk more eloquently and keep our new friend rabbits awake. So Brickle hops over to Ashpaw, and what does Ashpaw look like? What color and size and that sort of thing?
Fur is going to be white, right?
Okay.
My paws are burned, and my coat is otherwise just kind of like patchy, and I have markings and tattoos as well. So,
Ooh, okay.
bald spots.
I'm sure I've spoken with you before, but I may not have looked closely at you. I'm looking at you now, trying to figure out how to wake you up, or should I wake you up? And I might see something unusual, something different about you. It's dark down here, but is there something? Are you crying?
Can I be awake, Garrett? Or
Yes, sure. You can wake up.
I'll come to and I'll look at you and I'll say, I have taken the creature's trial solution into my body and changed it, transformed it, and now it can no longer hurt me. Fear not, brother, for I shall teach this to you someday as well. And then I get up and I back up to the far wall of the little hole that we are currently in.
Brickle's not usually speechless, but not understanding a word you just said, and given your almost alien aspect compared to the other rabbits here, he is just quietly looking at you and keeping his distance.
The small creature, the walking syringe, it is among us, and it will attempt to stick you with its trial solution. Be mindful, little desert rabbit. Be mindful until you have learned the way.
Brickle, I'm sorry to tell you, but I think you need to resist panic.
Okay.
Because
yeah, that's pretty nasty stuff going on here.
And then there's unfortunately this big shadow behind Ashpaw, which makes it even scarier. And this blood tear out of his eye and his white fur. It's like,
what's going on? All right, I got an 8. So I managed to keep it together. I'm taking a panic and backing up, backing away from Ashpaw and backing away from this big shadow, and I'll back into Prickle if Prickle's still behind me.
Brickle, where are you?
I think, yeah, I'm still in the same little room. I think I was freaking out a bit, but now I don't really understand what Ashpaw's saying either, but I'm guessing it's just a part of this Scorpion game, and I'm enjoying the game now that there's another rabbit playing the. Like, I think maybe Prickle just assumes that it's the words he can't understand are some sort of clever lie that we're telling about the Scorpion.
It becomes even funnier, the game now, yeah. And this Ashpaw bunny is making a good show there. Marsh, do you like to go out with Lily on a little run and to patrol the area a little bit? She would love to do that with you.
Certainly. Does she look like she's a fit, capable bunny?
Oh, she's very fit and very capable, and yeah, also she could also have like she could have a litter soon. Yeah.
Well, Lily, if you would like, we shall take a trip around the warren. It is always best to keep sights around the warren. The more eyes on the ground, the more we can prevent any sort of troubles. I'm dedicated myself to making sure this warren will be safe, and you know that having help, especially such pleasant company, would make it far, far better.
It makes it, yeah. It's good to be out with you, Marsh. I like the tunnels, but outside and seeing the sun on the sky, this place is so much more beautiful than the old Warwick we had. It's different, right? It's where I come from. It was a muddy place, and there was a lot of rain, and like when the rain came, which it didn't come often, and it came such a lot that many of us got lost. I hope that you, the one who can protect us here.
Well, I intend to do my very best. Don't you worry, young lady. I have everything well in paw.
But and why you're out? She's finding some very nice flowers you can eat together. While doing that, she wants to know, what do you think of Brickle? I think he's a very fine rabbit.
He tries very hard, and that's always an admirable quality. I'm constantly keeping an eye out, even while I'm eating. I'm sure that once he becomes, a more trained bunny, that he will be fully capable of providing his little bit for our warren. Good chap, I'm sure.
That's good to hear, but I mean, in comparison to you.
Well, we all have our parts. I'm sure he also has fine qualities, but not everyone can be Marsh.
No, nobody can be Marsh. You are Marsh. And I like the way you run. I really like it. Yeah. And I think we should run, because the hawk is back.
Oh, good God. Then I am not, however, as well as she says I run, very good at it. So I will lumber along behind her. Oh, shit.
Let's run. I think, yeah. Can you roll bolt for me to get to the warren? Because the hawk is really there, and I don't want to see you die.
All right. Well, let's set me a set here.
Swift is not exactly your strength.
Looks like I got a 5. That's a 4.
No!
I may be playing Coriander after all.
Yes. That doesn't necessarily mean the hawk gets you. We just don't know what happened to you. Because Lily is coming in panic, in total panic, back into the warren and screams, Marsh is out there, the hawk got him, the hawk, the hawk. Who is reacting quickly? Is anybody willing to help if a hawk is out there?
I think we were all down in the deepest part of the warren, right? Because we were just building the new tunnels down. So it might be hard to hear, but I think I hear something going on, some sort of ruckus up there. I better go check it out.
I'll say I can hear the faint subsonic squeaking of a rabbit in terror. I suppose we should go and check on our fellow subjects.
Yeah, Prickles played the game of trying to save rabbits from predators before. It's a game that he likes. It's where he got many of his scars from.
So many scars, yeah. And the hawk is one of your favorite play toys, right?
When Brickle starts running up the tunnel, he pauses and looks back at Ashpaw, and there was some big shadow behind Ashpaw. Is it still looming?
Well, Ashpaw himself is looming somehow, right?
Okay.
I was the shadow. I say, little desert subject, you look frightened. Don't be. Fear is the greatest enemy we have in this world. Fear is what will be the end of us. You must clear your mind and think of something blank and empty.
Brickle shakes his head up and down and scampers up as fast as he can toward the top of the warren.
So you're all three out to rescue your fellow rabbit. I wonder what is causing more panic here? Is it Ashpaw or the hawk? All right, so you're out there, but there's no hawk and there's no other rabbit in sight. Where's Marsh? Where's the hawk?
Where's Lily? Let's get the important things straight.
And Lily is behind you and says, I'm not going out there. The hawk nearly got me. She's big, she's dangerous. I don't want to go out there. Please, rescue Marsh.
So, real quick, out of character, the hawk grabbed Marsh, or what happened out of character? Do we know yet?
What happened to Marsh?
Yeah, yeah. Just remind me what happened to Marsh.
We don't know yet.
Oh, we don't know yet. Okay, all right. That's why I don't know, because we don't know.
Yeah. Marsh missed the roll, and the hawk and the rabbit disappeared.
I will step forward and I will say, I'll look at Lily and I'll say, still your voice, Doe. This land has a quietude, a stillness with which I am not accustomed, but that greatly aids me in trying to find out what happened to your friend. And I just very carefully listen for what I can find.
So does one of you pay attention here to see
that's
what
that's
is
what I'm
going
doing.
on?
Yeah, I'm trying to pay attention with sound or with hearing.
Yeah.
Shall I roll that? And it's plus shrewd, and I have a 0 now, so I got a 7.
7. You get 1 hold. So you can ask one of the questions.
Okay, so I'm gonna name the sense. It's sound, and I will ask. How could I get? No, we take that back. What here's the greatest danger to me?
The greatest danger is obviously the hawk. And now, with listening carefully, you can hear. But the hawk, obviously, is not in the sky. But there are these rocks over there. And the hawk is on the ground, and he must be on the ground, and you can hear his, how do you call this, the hawk nose? The hawk nose? The beak. Yeah. But there are other English terms I try to avoid since a couple of sessions.
Yeah, I remember that.
Pecker, yep.
In German, they call them peckers. So.
Yes. And so, with his beak, the hawk is pushing against some rocks. And he's obviously the biggest danger here, yes.
I have a feeling your warren mate is over there, and I'll point that out to Brickle and Prickle and Lily.
I ask?
That was a hawk noise.
Can I ask a brief rules question? Did I carry over my panic from the last session, or was it reset?
Let's reset the panic.
Okay,
Last
cool.
session.
Because I
It was
was
long
going to
enough
say,
ago
yeah.
that you had
Otherwise,
time
I
to
was going to,
relax.
yeah, I was going to say otherwise I'm like one off, freaking out. Cool. Okay. Thank you.
All right. So, Prickle, are you the one running ahead?
Yeah, I'm going to
Right.
check it out. I'm not being like a psycho about it. I'm gonna like, you know, be rabbity about it. I'm like hopping and trying to use cover and yeah, getting up closer to where it is.
All right. And Prickle, you are there as well?
I am.
Or you-
I look at Lily and I'm very tempted to go and just run out and show that hawk who's boss, but I'm too scared to do that. Instead, I'm poking my nose a little bit out of the hole, and I'm looking at where the hawk is and where one of our other entrances to the warren is. And I'm making a plan for how I could run out near the hawk to get its attention and then dive into one of the other entrances.
Oh, is that already an innovate?
Maybe. That's
It's
something
definitely
that
a resist
wild
panic.
animals do.
It's totally-
It sounds like, yeah.
All right, innovate.
+0. That's the tough part about innovating.
All right.
It can so easily go wrong.
It's a 6 on innovate.
No.
Well, I think it will work.
Are we able to help out on Innovate? We can help out on that, right?
Yes. Yeah.
I'm potentially already helping maybe with like running around, like I could be part of ducking back into a
Yeah. Maybe
hole,
you
I
can
guess.
help
That
March.
sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah. Is it, what am I rolling? Nothing as plus nothing as well?
When you help, you roll
Plus
whichever
whatever.
stat the GM thinks is appropriate.
That's in that time. This time I would say Swift is quite applicable
Okay.
here
Yeah.
when it's about running around.
9 plus 2, so 11.
11. Oh, perfect. That means you help. So which pushes the innovation to a 7, and it doesn't do any. Yeah, and your fate is not tied together, which is possibly also good in this situation. All right. So how does it look like, Brickle? What do you set up together with Brickle?
Well, maybe I see Prickle hopping along. He thinks that he's using cover from those bushes that we have around, but I can see from where I am that he's actually exposed, and it's a panicky move on my part to just jump out and get some attention away from him. And then I realize, oh no, I need to run for it. Now
Can I make a brief suggestion? Maybe that it's like you keep going with describing it, but maybe it's like it's going to be based on some game that we played together, but with rabbits before. You know, like ducking into holes and chasing. So
Sure.
Happy to use that.
Yeah.
Oh, so nice. Marsh, you have now been under these rocks for so long, and you're so full of panic. I think it's appropriate to take a couple of panic here, like for every time you jumped into a different direction when the hawk came down on you. I think that's a good time to panic. So it make like panic, 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 and then you were under the rock. All right?
All right. Well, let's see here. My first one, I rolled an 8.
Oh,
Steady.
you don't need to roll every time. Just take 3 panic.
Oh, just take 3 panic. Okay, good enough.
Yeah.
Well, I don't like that one bit.
Well, if you want to get out of this rock again, then you might resist panic, as long as the hawk is around.
Okay, so he's outside banging on these rocks, right?
Yeah.
All right. And I've managed to squeeze in. How big are these rocks? I mean, is it like just a fall? He's going to be able to move them aside?
Oh, they are gigantic for rabbits.
Oh, okay. So he really can't get to me, it seems likely.
No, he's just trying to cause you to go into a panic and a frenzy, and then you run out. Rabbits are stupid. They do this all the time.
Well, we'll see about that.
Come out, rabbit. You have no chance.
I'm going to watch as he makes his little dives towards me. And behind these rocks, I'm guessing there's the dirt and the sand, right?
Yes. My kids are hungry. Come out.
Well, as he makes that next thrust in, I'm going to do a quick turn kick and throw sand right up into his beady hawk eyes. Take that, you varmint!
Wow. Okay. Attacking a predator, for that you need to resist panic.
Alrighty. And I shall roll my resist panic. Roll well. Boxcars.
Yes.
Finally, you resist panic, and the hawk resists dust. But he is annoyed. He's very annoyed. He's jumping 3 steps or whatever you call it back. Is this your chance? And you also see the other rabbits.
All right, I guess I'm so bad at this. I guess I'm going to bolt for a hole and towards my friends. And I'm going to be pretty much squeaking out, "Run, you fools, run!"
All right. It's all set up for you.
All right, let me roll a bolt. Oops, I only rolled 1. Oops. That can't be right. I could not possibly have rolled 6s again. There we go. 7. That's a 6.
That's a 6. But there are 3 proud and strong rabbits ready to help you. 2 have already set up your escape route. And Ashpaw?
I'm mostly hanging back in the hole from where the others sprinted from. But if I can, I mean, if it would be helpful for Marsh, I will kind of come out of the hole and try to flag him down just to keep him, focused on where he needs to go. But I suppose any of us could do that. So
yeah, and do that for us, I would say.
What would you like me to roll for the aid there?
It's from my side, I would say it's Swift again.
Okay.
But I could also.
Swift works. That's my high stat, so I'll take it.
All right.
Let's see here. Do 2d6 on that. Yeah, I got 11. So, which means that when you aid on a 10 plus, or you help rather, give +1. Yeah, he can take a +1. So.
All right.
Seems like a perfect escape.
But I have to choose one. I think I'm going to take, I don't end up exactly where I intended. Perhaps they were over there and I saw Ashpaw here and I sort of focused on her, but since I was distracted, I end up kind of jetting off a bit away from where I was intending to go.
Yeah. And here I would say it's a perfect example of how good rabbits can learn and adapt to new situations, because you have fellow rabbits who have innovated and have shown you the way directly. So even if you didn't know where to run and you didn't find the right way to the entrance to your warren, there was Brickle and Prickle, and Brickle and Prickle brought you to the side entrance with their escape route. So I would say all escaped back and safe into the warren. What a wonderful, beautiful day. The sun is in the sky. The new warren expands. Tunnels are going deeper and deeper, and no other disturbing predators live among you. Just some of you are talking about stings and things, but they are traumatized from where they came from. Sure. If it's up to me, I would say we switch the sun off, the light come, and it's getting cold in the desert, and all the rabbits should cuddle together and be close and at the warm place, warm each other. Is there anybody specific you like to cuddle with? Or even do something more?
I'm not going to cuddle with Marsh, but I do want to go. Well, maybe, I don't know. But I do want to go speak with Marsh while I get a chance.
The stars are on the sky.
It took me a bit to calm down, and I'm probably growly about damned birds. I cannot believe that he caught me unawares. That just doesn't happen.
You must have been distracted.
Okay.
Go, please. That's all I had to say.
I say you should be very happy, Marsh. I would congratulate you for surviving your testing sequence. Perhaps you were part of the control group. Control group always does better on the testing sequences. But you must, at the very least, tell us what you've learned. We must know what you learned so that we can spread that knowledge among the rest of us in case we get picked for your group next time.
Well, it seemed as though this hawk first. I did not hear it. Very strange. I'm very good at hearing things. And I did discover that despite all of his bluster, he was unable to get to me behind the rocks. It set my heart a quiver, but I was in no danger there, provided I did not leave. He was more talk than beak, as it were.
I nod. Say, very interesting. Very interesting indeed. What do you think, Brickle?
I think poor Marsh was distracted somehow because he's always telling us that we should have more eyes watching everything. And that's the way to be safe. But he didn't see the hawk. So I think either the hawk has a new trick or poor Marsh was looking in the wrong direction. And I snuggle over to you, Marsh, and lick you a little bit, and groom you. And poor Marsh, that was a scary time today.
I think I let my guard down. That is not like me. Lily is fine companionship, but perhaps should not be on patrol with me.
If only we knew what day it was. If only we knew what day. The day called Friday is significantly more safe than the other days. The day called Saturday and the day called Sunday are safest of all. But Friday is the dangerous day of least dangers. I don't know where we are. Was today a Friday? Was today a Tuesday? I don't know. But I suspect tomorrow will reveal the answer. And then we can begin making plans. We can begin thinking about the future, planning a schedule.
I suppose it is good to have routine. Routine is good.
Yes, routine. That's precisely it.
Oh, and Lily is coming up and saying, this day felt so Friday. Felt so Friday.
Do
Have a lot of Saturdays.
do you have Fridays where you came from, Lily? I've never heard of this word. No one has ever told me a story about Friday before.
Good to have you close to me. It was scary out there. It felt so Monday. I don't know what these words mean, but I can feel what they mean. I can feel the fear, the anxiety. Side of Ashport must have seen a lot. I can also feel that Prickle, your little brother, is scared of something. Can't show it, not even to himself. You need to be there for him. Think he's in danger. No, come a little bit closer, Prickle. It's getting cold.
My head swings to Prickle, wondering what kind of trouble he's in right now, misunderstanding her, and then she says, "Come closer," and I immediately forget Prickle and take a tentative step closer, and then a little closer, and start to groom her.
I'm going to.
Saturday.
Oh,
Saturday.
sorry, go ahead.
Saturday. Saturday, she's saying. This new magic word.
Now in our new Warren, we'll have many Saturdays, Lily. Many Saturdays.
There are not many Saturdays. There is only one Saturday at a time, and it is a wonderful day, but it is swiftly followed by terrible days. You should know this so that you can face this.
I'm whispering in her ear. Shh, shh, don't listen, Lily. Quiet.
I'm going to snuggle in a little closer to Ashpaw, and these days, I have not heard of this. All days seem sun to me, but I appreciate your idea. The idea that we.
I like distinctly back up from you, like
Okay.
you try to snuggle against me.
Okay. He'll take it in
Ashport's
stride.
staying cold tonight.
I would know more of these, the days, how days can be distinguished. Then we can properly plan.
Yes. The surest sign of a Tuesday is when the greatest number of subjects leave the Warren and do not return. That's how you'll know.
Very well.
Once we have such a day, we shall mark it, and we will know.
Very well, Ashpaw. We will keep an eye out for that day.
Yes.
I look over to Ashpaw and speak just softly, just loud enough for you to hear. What do you call the day when new bunnies, baby bunnies come?
Do you mean when new bunnies are introduced into pens from the ones who run the testing sequences? Or do you mean new bunnies that come from our bodies?
Oh, I don't know what this pen is. Is it a nest? I'm talking about the baby, the blind and wet new bunny that's never seen the sun before.
I have never seen a bunny in this condition.
I just shake
I've
my
only
head.
ever seen young subjects with their fur nearly fully grown.
I hide my head in Lily's fur. That doesn't sound good.
It's a strange calmness which is coming down the forest. Usually you hear like little noises and rabbits eating a little bit on the ground together and hopping around a little bit. But after Ashpaw's introduction, it's strangely calm. Like also all the others are not don't dare to move anymore, as it seems. Only Prickle, you hear a familiar voice. Is your friend coming? Can you come a bit closer that nobody can hear us? Spike!
Yes.
You are the best bunny of the whole warren. It's good that we are friends. Since you are my friend, support each other, don't we?
Yes, what game are we going to play?
Yes, tomorrow is an exciting day for the warren. Something very special will happen. The spirits of the desert and the spirits beyond the desert are coming. Since you're my friend, I warn you. Teach them how to get the fruits, but don't take them by yourself. You are my friend. We shall be together, and I will help you and the others to become a strong warrior. But until then, this needs to be a secret. Good.
Yes. I think Prickle goes to sleep with a smile on his scarred little bunny face.
So everybody, each of you can have their own dreams. I'm not sure who can still relax after this evening. Those who think they can relax can reduce their panic by one. And Brickle can dream of his innovation. So you could write down that in our shared document, or we can think about it together if necessary, if you feel that we should discuss that. Otherwise, you can just type it in there.
I'll write in a draft, and we can then discuss it. If I don't know if it's the way I've got it written is too much or correctly narrow enough, but I'll put something out there.
All right. Is everybody ready? Otherwise, to jump to the next morning?
Mm-hmm.
I do think Marsh manages to sleep. He's the sort of rabbit that's used to fighting, and a good night's sleep is important.
Yeah. Tomorrow is Saturday. It's all right. All right. Shall we take the opportunity for a break? A little one?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, just 2 minutes. All right. Yeah, Lou, we decided to have a 1 minute break.
I assumed so.
Yeah.
Like, hey, where is everyone?
Sleeping.
Thanks for having me along again, by the way. I'm really enjoying it.
Oh, definitely, yes. Simply officially in there, right? So. Yeah, back from the 90s, there was once in Germany a telephone line for rules question, and there was actually one group asking what they can do while their characters are sleeping, because that time is so boring all the time. Yeah, so. So the Roberts had a good night of sleep, but Harry is not there yet.
There aren't any ways for a rabbit to attack a predator. That is correct, correct?
Yeah. There's one character move, I think. I'm not exactly sure, but I think there's one character move, Tooth and Claw, or something.
Could be a super dangerous innovate too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the last session we did have a innovate, which was kind of like chasing off a bird of prey, sort of in not a dissimilar fashion to what we kind of just did, like running around and confusing it, sort of thing. And we rolled really well, so no one died, so that was good.
I sort of have this thought of Marsh having had a dream of the hawk's beak is stronger than the rabbit, but the rock was stronger than the hawk's beak. So if we drop the rock onto the hawk, that could kill the hawk. But I don't know how hard that would be to innovate.
Need to get the hawk under the rock.
Yes.
Maybe they are flying rocks. Maybe Ashpo has seen something before.
I'm thinking luring him. We'll see. Let me see if I can work that into play.
It's a wonderful place. And again.
Okay.
All right. So we're all back, and we had wonderful dreams. Or we didn't. Nightmares from past times in metal and glass building caves. Yes, indeed.
I dream of perfectly smooth aluminum rooms that just vibrate. So.
And this, interestingly, this from your dream or your nightmare, this sound seems to continue after you wake up. And also all you others, you wake up to a sound you haven't heard before, and many rabbits are already up and are out of the warren to look where the sound is coming from. It's like a it comes and goes like the wind, but it never completely goes away, and it doesn't sound like the wind. Something is out there, and many rabbits already are on the way out to look. to see what is going on there. And you?
I'll probably head up there. Be careful now, all. This is going to get... this is totally disorganized, people. Be careful. Look around.
Yeah, Prickle's curious to see if this is part of his game with the scorpion about helping other rabbits get special fruit.
Yes.
And he has no idea what's going to happen.
So you're all hopping out of the warren. And very close to the warren is a big cactus tree seen before. And it seems the noise is coming from that cactus tree. The other rabbits are already gathered around it. And some are whispering already that one of the spirit gods has come down to visit the warren, which is a good sign. It's Saturday. Saturday. And they start calling the cactus tree Saturday. Saturday has come and is visiting us. The cactus tree is full of fruits. First rabbit is up and sniffing on the fruit and gnawing a little bit away from it. Seems to taste good. Others are willing to join. And what about you?
If we had a good source of food, a feast, we would be able to establish this warren and have our first litter, which would be a cause for celebration and make this an official warren. Until that happens, it's just a hole.
I lean forward to Prickle and Brickle and Marsh, which sounds like a folk band, doesn't it? I lean forward to Prickle, Brickle, and Marsh, and I say, we should be wary of this thing. Everyone knows there's no such thing as God. That's just superstition. That's just myth. And certainly whatever that is not Saturday. It's not Saturday. It is not weekend. It is none of those wonderful things. It is a trick. It's a test. We've entered a new testing sequence and we should be careful.
Ashpo, you make a lot of sense. You rabbits. Careful there. Move back a bit. And I'm going to be kind of trying to do a hop around the perimeter of this thing, giving it a real close look.
I just shake my head at Ashpaw's advice, and I move in to get a sniff of these wonderful berries or flowers.
Yeah. So for me, there comes again the question if speak plainly also applies to rabbits or if it doesn't, because the move says when you reason with another animal, and rabbits are animals. But does it mean another other than you, or does it mean another than being a rabbit?
Well, the move
For me,
has
it
implications
seems
for NPCs, so I don't think so. I think we can probably speak plainly to NPC rabbits, but not to PC rabbits. So
yeah, indeed, yeah.
Yeah.
So that seems to be something Marsh is doing.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to try and scoot them back till we figure out if this is safe.
Yeah, I'll give you help if you need it on the roll, I guess.
All right, let me give a shot here. Dice keep disappearing. Oh, well, I will need help possibly. That's shrewd. There ain't any help that can give me help there. That's a 4.
Is there an... Oh, yeah. I was probably going to interfere anyway.
Indeed, we have somebody here.
Yeah, I
However,
think
for
Prickles.
interfere, you also need to roll, right?
Yeah, but maybe I don't have to.
Yeah, they're not listening. Silly bunnies.
So
Yeah, I
you
think
failed.
Prickles definitely encouraging the he's I think knocking down fruit onto the ground. I don't think he's eating any of it himself yet, but he's trying to make like a little pile of fruit on the ground.
Sound is starting. For Ashbo, it's kind of terrifying. I think you should resist panic
Okay.
because it so much reminds you of this.
Yeah, of course. Let's see here.
Is it a vacuum cleaner? I don't know.
Like out of character, is it like a mechanical sound?
It's different. Out of character, even I would say we shall not answer that question.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, let's keep it mystical on that bunny level.
My steady, I think, is 1, and I rolled I got a 6.
Oh,
I can help on that probably, I suppose.
well, if you weren't busy.
Yeah, you're busy.
Well, yeah, I guess I am wandering around.
We haven't come to that part yet.
Well, how about this? If it's going off of this thing is something to be wary of, I did kind of give a warning for people to keep away, which is my move, which gets a +1 forward for those who follow my advice.
Indeed, true.
That's true. Yeah.
That should be, I think. Then you get the +1. Let's push Ashpo to 7 then.
Okay, well, so I keep it together, but I take a panic, so that's fine.
Yeah. So you take a panic, and well, the rabbits are not listening to you, Marsh, and quite the opposite. They are accusing you. You don't want us to get to Saturday. Why do you want to keep us away from Saturday? He's not. He's saying something bad about Saturday.
Oh, you foolish
Saturday
bunnies!
was brought to us by the spirits. No. And I think you need to resist panic another time.
Oh, alrighty.
Because angry bunnies can be terrifying, especially if you want to take away their food or something they find delicious.
Well, I got an 12.
Yes, well, you are not panicking here, definitely not. But like Prickle and Prickle, like how is that for you? Like Prickle, you tasted a little bit of it, or you were just sniffing carefully?
I think Prickles eaten one of them now as well.
You are eating, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, maybe a whole lot of them. I'm eating heaps of them.
Okay. Prickle laughs every game.
Brickle is more cautious than that. He's sniffing them first because he's eaten lots of desert plants and he expects this to be a tasty desert plant. If it's something very unusual, he might look at it more closely.
It is unusual, and when you sniff at it on it, you feel something getting in your nose, which is kind of sharp, and the sound in your ears getting stronger at the same time. Whatever's going on, this is powerful. This is not just another desert plant or anything. And for Prickle, no, I would say, I have a little custom move when you eat from Saturday, the cactus tree. I throw that into the chat, and then also into the spreadsheet. So you have that there. You need to roll with steady. Steady is like a very important stat, I think, for rabbits.
Okay, I'll just roll and then I'll
Yeah.
interact with it. What have I got for steady? 0.
What's this cactus tree doing to you and to the other rabbits? Like from the first of those who have tasted, their eyes are getting wider and they move faster. They start sniffing stuff on the ground. They seem to be inspired.
So I got a 7, and let's see, 8 from the cactus tree roll plus steady. So I'm in the 7 to 9. 7 to 9, choose 1 from the upper list or 1.
From the low end, I will choose the other one.
We'll see something new in the desert no one ever saw before. Find inner peace. Become super fast and smart.
Choose one. Yeah, everybody else can also have a look. But,
I think maybe I'm gonna. I kind of want something bad to happen. I guess it's going to anyway. I think I'll choose superpowers. I'm going to become super fast and strong and take super fast and smart. Yeah, take +1 forward.
But Cricket, you are a very playful bunny, and so for you it's kind of a new experience because you see a lot of things very positively. But now you see something very horrible or frightening in the desert. What is it?
I think it's that kind of like, I think it's full acid trip, like, you know, like rainbows and like strange colors and flashing lights and, you know, pulsating plants. And but then I think maybe there's some images from hearing Ashpaw talk about, I haven't really been able to picture the place that she has come from. And I think, but maybe I'm getting some strange insight into that now. So there's like bits of weird cages and metal walls and stuff. But then I think the main thing is the there's Sting the scorpion, but like a really big scorpion in the desert. And then that's probably when I totally flip out.
Oh, that sounds terrible. But there's a lot going on. Like the bunnies, many bunnies are very excited, and as I said, like and out of their senses. So what does that do to you, the only bunnies who haven't tasted from the cactus tree yet? Even lilies must have tasted, as it seems, from it.
This is clearly some sort of trial solution being administered to the subjects.
There's definitely something wrong with him.
Prickle's trying to reason with them and speaking to the ones who are already going crazy, who aren't very receptive, but he's telling them that this is something very strange. It may be the Saturday spirit, but we haven't given it an offering yet. We've made a mistake to eat. Stop eating it. Get back.
You speak plainly, I think.
Yes. That's shrewd, I think, right? Oh, I just can't roll to save my life. But I got a 7.
You got a 7.
Let's see. Meet one of their demands.
One of their demands. One of their demands. And not all of them are reasonable, but some of them are. And well, chose wisely, because you know your fellow rabbits. It's like, it might have been wrong to eat directly from it. But if you dare also to try a piece of it, you will understand that this is Saturday, and then we come to reason, and I think we can get the others also to follow us. Is one of the rabbits saying. His name is Bolt because he's very fast.
You will stop. You will stop eating it if I have a little bit.
You have a little bit, yes.
They're all still like going at it, right?
Yeah,
All right. I
he's very fast. Bolt.
I look nervously around and agree, and I take a little bite of the god Saturday.
From the cactus tree.
And I've got a 6.
Got a 6. I wonder if there's any way that somebody could push you to a 7 in a sensible manner. I don't see that.
I don't know one.
I'm just watching on and shaking my head, knowing that this is some sort of trick.
Yeah, I think I could only make things worse right now by talking about giant scorpions and pulsating cactuses and stuff. That's not going to help.
Indeed. You take, so Brickle, you take 4 panic and a scar of your choice.
All right, that puts me at panic level. Oh no, sorry, sorry, I'm mistaken. 1 short. Oh, I just changed. I just changed Ash Paws.
Oh, okay.
Your column is where my column has been the last 2 sessions.
I had 3.
Ah.
Oh, you had 3. All right.
Yeah, 3.
So I'm at 5 now, and my max panic is 5. So I am panicked, and I'm scarred.
So when you panic out, what happens then? That's not on the sheet, right? That's something I haven't looked up yet.
Oh, are you asking mechanically? Basically,
yes.
Just now that Brickle's at max panic, if any kind of danger comes, Brickle's totally exposed. So, like, we'll freeze up, and yeah, it's bad. So,
yes. So, as you're on that maximum level, there's also one thing I would like to ask you, which is like the last option on the list. Become one with the cactus. Tell the cactus something about you. Why are you reacting so badly here? What is the cactus revealing from you here?
I think
You
what
want
the
to have a
cactus
minute?
sees. Yeah, I think I got it. What the cactus sees is that Brickle is very uncertain about this new warren, and it has not officially become a warren yet, and he's wondering if it would be better back in the safety and the rigid rules of the old warren.
So it was.
And his.
A lot of fake from you, being excited about the new warren, right?
I'm sorry, say that again.
There was a lot of fake from Brickle's side that you were so excited about new warren and doing things new.
Yeah, he was. And I think his scar is he is very, very distracted, unable to pay attention, very nervous.
Okay. You can't resist panic anymore. Or
No, I lost the pay attention part.
the pay attention. All right, I got that. But you still had a success on your move to convince the other rabbits to stop eating from the cactus tree. I wonder if you are still able to continue with the idea of having a sacrifice ready for that. Is somebody else able to take over your task?
Yeah, it may be that I convinced them finally by taking it and then just spazzing out and actually demonstrating how bad it is.
Yeah, like how are you behaving right now? What does it look like right now? Like how are we perceiving what you're doing?
I'm posting, when rabbits go up on their hind legs.
Hmm.
So being really tall and swinging my forearms around and chittering. I'm not quite sure what sounds rabbits make, but vocalizing.
Hmm.
And then I'll fall down to my all fours and hop around in a small circle.
I lean into Marsh and I say, the subject's behavior reminds me of Trial Solution 63. Many, many subjects were lost to Trial Solution 63. We must destroy this cactus fruit immediately.
You foolish bunnies. You heard, Brickle, that obviously we should not be eating of this now, whether there needs to be some sort of sacrifice or something. We know it's not good for us now. Get away, get away. And I'm going to go over there and start cuffing rabbits away from this fruit.
Yeah, and Brickle and Marsh, and you were successful somehow, but the rabbits are willing to listen to you now, to all of you. But they are nervous. I mean, Cactus is still working on them. Their eyes wide open, sniffing. They look around. You're still outside. It's a dangerous place for rabbits. Inside the cactus.
This cactus is false, I say to the group. We must return to the warren and make a plan for how we are going to destroy it.
Mm-hmm.
Who's with me?
Ashpaw is absolutely correct. And I'm going to do the only thing I can think of to stop them from eating this fruit. I'm going to pee on it.
Okay, you're going to pee on it, and do you want to speak plainly, Ashpaw? Is that another chance? I mean,
yeah, I think
we already had a successful roll by Brickle.
Yeah, this might be to convince them to destroy the cactus tree, right? Like, or at the very least, get away from it. Like, move the warren or something, right? If we can't destroy it, but I think we should be able to destroy it or try to. Yeah. So I'll go on about like. I'll go on about like Trial Solution 63 and all the subjects that were lost to Trial Solution 63 and how Brickle's behavior is completely indicative of that's what's going on. And in any case, there's no such thing as God. Everyone knows it, and that's just superstition. And yeah, so
then you roll.
No, I don't know if any of the other rabbits are going to, any other PC rabbits are going to oppose me or not, but that's what I'm doing. I don't know what I rolled because all the dice landed.
Yeah, I don't think Prickle is normally would be able to engage in any sort of argument, but I think maybe because he's super smart now because of his like cactus eating, like. So I think maybe he even appears to be a little bit different to normal. He looks more with it, and he says that he like.
Well, I got 6 anyway, so.
Yeah, cool. Well, it'll just be flavor then, but I think I think maybe this is why you didn't succeed, but I think Prickle is saying like that Ashpaw doesn't that she uses a lot of strange words that the rabbits that are from the desert don't understand, and that she's right about some things, but she's not right about the cactus, and that that it's a gift from the gods of the desert, and that we should all partake of the gift.
And the worst what could happen to a Warren happens. The Warrens are splitting in two groups. One group is sticking behind Prickle, and the other one behind Marsh, Brickle, who is still a little bit out of control as it seems, and Ashpaw. While they are confronting each other, the cactus starts singing again. Prickle can hear behind him the sound from the scorpion. And then Ashpaw can lead those rabbits who are willing to go underground, back underground, to possibly make a plan.
Is anybody else aware of this scorpion, or just Prickle?
Maybe somebody can pay attention here to find out about the scorpion, because this is an opportunity. Until now, it was quite invisible. But now I think it's a good opportunity to find out about it. Maybe it's also something to investigate.
Yeah, like, well, so like, what would be the sign that would provoke us to do that? Like, does Prickle behave weird now because the scorpion's around, or what?
Prickle always had somebody, Prickle was not the kind of rabbit to come up with their own ideas. Somebody must have put that in.
Oh, I see. So someone's like whispering in his ears. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would pick up on that, though. I'm so like in my own little like world that sounds like more of a Marsh or a Brickle thing. Brickle maybe because like Brickle's related to Prickle, and Marsh because Marsh is like a leader. But
Brickle is freaked out and can no longer pay attention to anything.
Then I suppose I will attempt to look over there. It is very unusual for Brickle to be coming up with these sort of ideas. That's not really him at all. Lad, what are you talking about? This seems very unlike you. And I got a 6.
Well, if it's a PC, you don't roll.
Let's not speak plainly. I'm paying attention.
You're paying attention. Sorry.
Suppose anybody want to help point something out to me?
I think I strangely want to help because
that makes sense in this situation.
Well, I just think that Prickle wants to. He's playing this game, and it's getting a bit scary and weird, and he does want to actually understand what's happening, if the scorpion is actually his friend or not. Okay. And he doesn't like that there's sides forming. Like, he likes the games that everybody all plays together. So okay. Yeah. Can I roll to help?
Yeah, maybe it makes, because you have shrewd -1, maybe it makes sense to roll help in the sense of hinder, and on a miss.
I've also got my +1 from the cactus thing, which is maybe representing that I'm thinking more clearly in some ways than I normally would.
It does. Yeah, you're much smarter than usually.
Cool. So what is that? Does that just make it a +0?
+0. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. 9.
Natural.
9, and a 9 +0 is a 9. That means you put your fate, you tie your fate together, but you can put a +1, a -1, or Same to the panic. You can also simply change the panic.
I guess I'm gonna add the +1 to so that we have a question of trying to work out what's going on. Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, good. So, I mean, that was a revelation which would come anyway, right? But to which costs?
Okay, so I get one question. I'm seeing that Prickle is acting oddly. I don't see the scorpion though, do I? Is that correct?
You could see it now because he's acting oddly, and you're looking around for signs. If that makes sense to you, that it's something with your senses, you're very visual rabbit.
So I see it there, and I'm getting the impression then that it's probably been Svengali-ing on Prickle. So I'm going to Scorpion, what are you doing over there? Why are you bothering Prickle? What business is this of yours? And I'd like to know what do they wish I would do, I guess? What is his intention for what he wants me and by default the Warren to do?
Scorpion is fleeing under a rock where he can protect himself. My dear rabbits, it's too late now anyway. You have tasted from the cactus you are calling Saturday. For one, cactus.
Garrett, you dropped out. We missed that last bit.
Now we are one, the cactus, you and me. Oh, you tasted from it, and now we belong together.
What are you talking about?
You will see sooner or later. Continue eating from the fruits, and you will learn, and you will grow, and you will become more than just rabbits. We, in this desert, can grow into something bigger. It's up to you to have bigger litters than any rabbit ever had. To have longer ears and brighter eyes and bigger brains, my dear little rabbits. Continue eating the precious tree for Saturday. We will be friends. Like Prickle and his fellows are already. Right, Prickle?
I think Prickle's let me think, he's a lot smarter at the moment. I think Prickle's actually this having this moment of clarity is making him like not trust the scorpion as much anymore. He's like having doubts now that he wouldn't have had otherwise, but I don't think that he particularly knows how to act on that. I think maybe he's shuffling away from the scorpion back around to the other group. Like, yeah, but uncertainly.
We should get back, you foul little creature. We are not going to be playthings of yours. And I'm going to be scooting back away from it and back towards the warren with whichever rabbits we can pull.
I'll go back with you. I know the evil that the little talking syringe refers to. I have heard of it. I know what those rabbits have in store for themselves. and it's nothing good.
What can we do to help them? Birdball. Ashball, sorry.
There may be nothing we can do to help them. Soon they will grow distorted and fat and bloated, and their skin will begin to split, and a white pus will begin to fill their eyes, and their senses will dull. There is only pain for these rabbits, I fear. They may be lost if they continue down this path. The best thing we can do is comfort them, teach them the blankness, teach them to focus on the white room, the blank white room, the room that vibrates, the room that is warm, in which the blue light appears, and we empty ourselves into it until the pain is no more.
Then we must collect them all. We must bring them in so you can teach them this.
Yes, I think you're right.
And I will herd as many as we can, and those that are completely bonkered out, I guess they're probably more dangerous in the warren than they would be outside. If they're too crazed to be brought in, I'll just abandon them.
Well, you needed to, as it seems, some time to reorganize yourself. That was enough time. That is okay for you, for the scorpion to withdraw with his fellow cactus tree bunnies to occupy part of the new warren for themselves. Led by a scorpion following their cactus tree Saturday gods. Now we have 2 warrens at a warm place. And there are strict demarcation lines in the tunnels formerly belonging to both of you. You are sitting with a couple of bunnies being on your side in your part and need to think about the 4 of you. So I understood that Prickle is with you now, while the scorpion and his bunnies are sitting aside.
Where's Brickle in all this, in this demarcation? Like, are you on our side, or?
I was terrified out there and really kind of lost my mind and really became one with the cactus in my mind. There's a connection that I have, and I think he would have had to pull me into the warren. I wouldn't go either direction on my own. So if you shove me in your side, I'll be in your side. And as I slowly come to, I immediately will accept whichever place I'm in.
Might be a good opportunity to relax for you.
Yeah, and I definitely would have grabbed you and pulled you in if you don't resist.
Yeah, I don't resist.
The only painful truth for you is that Lily is on the other side.
I was just going to say, how can I relax when Lily's not here?
I don't know.
It's just the 4 of us now?
Plus a couple of other bunnies
A few on our
who are on your side. Yeah.
You tasted of this Brickle. What was it like?
I do not know how to describe it to you. It didn't taste. It didn't so much taste as feel. I felt like almost like thorns forcing their way down my throat and into my stomach and spreading. All of my senses were enlightened. I almost feel like I'm part of the cactus. I can only imagine the other bunnies feel the same way. But I don't understand the scorpion's role in this.
This is some sort of fantastic new experiment, and I fear I have no previous experience with it. Brickle, have you experienced a fattening of the tongue?
I stick my tongue out.
Yeah. There's is this still very soon afterwards? Have we just come, like, is this immediately afterwards?
From my side, it could be an hour later.
Yeah, cool. Well, and
So you could have digested already if you want.
yeah, like I think sorry, you go, Brickle. I don't know if I heard Prickle or Brickle then.
No, you go ahead. I just
either is fine. Yeah, we really both of you made it, right? So
Both of you stick your tongues out.
I think I'm mostly curious about your symptoms. I would be like, are you experiencing a thickening of the tongue? Has your urine been a particularly strange color or smell? That sort of thing, right? Let me look at your fur, right?
I think Prickle hops over like uncomfortably close to you and like sticks his tongue out for you to look at.
Yes, this would be. I'd be trying to pay attention if I can here.
Or is it an innovate? Because it's a little bit.
I guess it could be. Yeah.
A little bit
like,
new, like a medical
evaluation.
Veterinary sciences.
Veterinary science. I'll take it. Let's see. Let me get 2 dice on here.
Otherwise, you can ask what will happen if I stay very still.
I got a 7. So I think like maybe this move, however we write it, would be like I would be able to determine that that they're not about to like experience, whatever sort of thing that I think they're about to experience, right? Like maybe it's something different.
I don't mind if I am about to experience that.
I guess I would figure out like whether they're in any immediate like danger of dying or not, right? I think is the main thing I'd want to know. So.
So I would say what you can from your medical expertise,
Mm-hmm.
you can find out that the poison, like the direct impact, might stop after you defecated properly. However, the poison is still inside of them.
Mm-hmm.
They are different.
Mm-hmm.
Their eyes and under their lids, their nose, the way they breathe. Brickle and Prickle have changed, slightly only. But they're not in life-threatening danger.
Am I right that at this point, Ashpaw and I are the only ones who have not eaten it?
Yes. From the other side
just
of
eat it and join.
Become one with the
one
cactus.
of us.
And from the other side of the wall, and you'll hear along. You can hear the rabbits entering the sound.
Oh.
And it resonates even in the tunnel.
Do ours start doing that too?
No, not yet.
There's a tug,
It's a-
though.
This is unlike anything I've ever seen, Marsh. Unlike anything I've ever seen. The only thing I know for sure is we must destroy that talking syringe.
And you said the tree. I think you're right. We should find some way to destroy this tree.
Yes, yes. But first, I think we take care of the syringe. It whispers in their ears, tells them things that are most troubling.
Yes. For the betterment of the Warren, we must destroy it.
Yes.
We don't have good ways of fighting, but to harken back to my dream about the hawk, I imagine that a rock falling upon a scorpion will smash it the same as any other, as the hawk.
Yes.
A rock.
Say that again, Kara. What did you say?
You need a rock.
If we could lure it somewhere where a rock is able to be pushed over upon it,
Yes.
maybe that would work.
If we could take it to a high place and kick it off, it might shatter when it hit the ground.
Oh, yes. Smash against the rocks. Very good idea. Oh, very smart bunny.
I think Prickles will pipe up, and he's like, the Sting, the scorpion. She made me think that I was a different rabbit called Spike that was a smart rabbit. But when I ate the cactus, I realized that I'm just a dumb bunny. I'm just Prickle. But I think maybe I could convince the scorpion to come to talk with us, because Sting still thinks that I'm her friend, and maybe I could help.
That is a very good idea, Prickle, and very brave.
So, Sting the Scorpion is more than willing to talk with you, because all the rabbits should be united again under the cactus tree called Saturday. So, Sting is open for discussion with his good friend, Spike. But is Spike able to talk? That's the question here.
And I suppose we need to try to lure this creature somewhere where we can kick it from a great height.
Or smash it with the rock.
Or smash it with a rock. Looking around, do we have somewhere that's got some decent height with a good drop? Because, I mean, it's a scorpion. If we just kick it off the side, it's going to scrap. But somewhere that has a good solid drop, or something that we could see that's a stone that's a little stand-up-ish that maybe a few rabbits throwing themselves against it could knock over?
Well, I think it'll shatter if it hits the ground, because I think it's made of glass, right? But so there's a really good chance that's not a good plan.
The syringe, yes.
Yeah.
So the desert is in constant motion. So they are definitely rocks which are loose enough that if a little bit more sand would go away, the rock would collapse. So you can find such a place. Haven't you developed a move where you do like strategic things and set things up?
No. We've got acting like a bully outside your station and distracting a predator running from hiding place to hiding place.
It's somehow distracting the predator, isn't it?
A little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
I mean, the main thing is we just need to be able to convince it to go parlay with us at this place, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of the main
Yes.
Brickle has an idea.
Mhm.
Having tasted the cactus, the walking syringe you talk about seems to be one with the cactus. I almost thought I heard the humming coming from it before it came from the other bunnies. What about destroying it with the cactus itself? Could we burrow under the cactus and cause it to be unstable and fall over on it? Would that
How
be...
does this tree look, Garrett? I mean, what sort of size are we talking about?
It's a big cactus, so it's really like a, sorry for metrical measures, it's like a 2 meters high thing.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 meters,
And
like
it's
a tall human, basketball player. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's it.
Perhaps if Prickle was able to lead the scorpion out of a specific like tunnel, maybe that would be a way to set up rolling like rolling a rock down into a specific like exit or entrance or
I think the
whatever
cactus
that-
idea is kind of a two birds with one stone. I mean, if we take it near
Yeah.
the cactus and if we did like the dig move or something and to go underneath the cactus to destabilize it, I think that's what Prickle was getting at, and then have it fall down. It's still just a cactus, right? I mean,
Indeed, yeah. And
Yeah, it's kind of a more dramatic, nice scene.
and that would be nice.
yeah,
Yeah.
the cactus is, I think the cactus is nice. The problematic thing with the cactus is that for sure the other bunnies are taking care for the cactus, so you should also distract them a little bit at least.
so to distract the rabbits, burrow underneath, lure the scorpion over, drop the cactus on top.
I think we have a task for every bunny in your
Yeah,
adventure.
awesome video.
That sounds good. So let's set this up properly. And hopefully we have good luck with the rolls, because I think we need to roll a little bit on this, right?
Do I need to
Yes.
convince the scorpion to come in the first place, or are we just good enough friends that the scorpion will just come along?
I think it would be good if you convinced the scorpion. But I imagine that you can put all the help in there you want.
I'm probably going to be our best digger.
Yeah.
And probably, if there's some strays that come to defend the cactus, the most capable of sending them on their way. So I'll volunteer for that task.
Good.
I'll tell the other rabbits horrible horror stories about what's going to happen to their bodies, and they better let me look at them all to make sure it's not going to happen. So
Oh, right. Yes, sounds good. I think and Brittle still needs a task.
Yes, what will Brickle do? He's not good at digging.
help
He
as
could-
needed.
Help. Yeah, he could
You
help.
could help. You could help Prickle with talking to the scorpion, because Prickle's not particularly confident in that regard.
Okay. I am also, I'm affected, as is Prickle. So I probably have maybe a little bit of sway with the other bunnies who are affected. So if they start to move in on us, I can help with that. But that leaves all the digging to poor Marsh.
I think Marsh is fine with that, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, then let's start rolling. We have a 2d6 orgy coming up. And first of all, I think it makes sense to see if the other bunnies can get distracted enough. Then the scorpion has time. Then he doesn't have to do his feeding hallucinogenic drugs to his fellow rabbits.
So I'll approach the other rabbits, and I'll offer like a temporary truce to say, listen to me, subjects. It's very important that we evaluate your current condition. Tell me, when you move your head to the left and right, do you hear a faint rattling sound, as if there is a pebble rolling about in your skull? And then maybe it's one of the situations where they're like, no, and like shake your head harder, and eventually, and then they start to convince themselves. I'm like, yes, you hear it, don't you? Yes, I'm afraid I'm afraid you're all in danger, and we need to do a full evaluation to make sure that you're all right. They're all just shaking their heads, like,
Yeah, you see like 15 bunnies in front of you, like shaking their heads.
So I guess, is that like convince or speak plainly, or what do we?
Seems to be speak plainly,
Speak
yes.
plainly, yeah. Get all my moves mixed up in these games. I don't think it's going to go very well. It was a 6. So yeah, Brickle, that might be a good moment for you to come in and. Oh no, I got a 7. So, or no, is it Shrewd? It's a 6. Yeah, I need help.
It's a 6, okay.
Yeah.
But Brickle is there, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yes, well,
How do you help?
Brickle is there, and everyone knows that. Yeah, everyone. He told everyone to stop eating it, and then was convinced to try it, and everyone saw him be affected. So when Ashpaw starts naming off symptoms, and the other rabbits don't respond and start to feel like they have the symptoms too, he's twitching, and
Right.
then he's sort of starting to do that posting thing again, and it
Let's
almost,
see. Look
I
at this
imagine it
rabbit.
almost looks like a American Indian ritual, the way he's moving around. So yeah, he's got their attention.
All right. Let's hope so.
What would I be rolling with?
That's shrewd.
Shrewd. All right, very good. I'm moderately shrewd. 8.
It's good enough. Your fate is tied together, otherwise it works.
So they'll do as long as I meet one of their demands right now. What is their demand right now?
I think they will be very, very angry if you don't help them. And they are strong and tough rabbits among them. And if you don't help them quickly, they might turn against you with the drugs they are on.
I'll go up to one of the rabbits and I'll put my little burnt, singed paws, like as he's like shaking his head around. I'm like, be still, steady yourself, subject. Close your eyes and imagine the white room. Imagine a plain white room, glowing walls, and a sound, a hum. Let that hum fill you, flow through you until you see the blue light. And once you see the blue light, your mind will go blank and you will leave yourself, and the pain and all your symptoms will disappear.
Tuesday turns Saturday.
Yes, Saturday.
See.
Weekend. Yes.
A long moaning, oh, from the other rabbits. The first one seemed to be healed. By the way, where's the scorpion? The scorpion has left.
Indeed. Where is the scorpion?
Yeah. So, I would say, Prickle, you made it. The scorpion is willing to talk with you, but can you distract him long enough? How do you do that?
Yeah, so I think the scorpions moved away into like some of the tunnels nearby to the cactus. I think Prickle like hops down there. He's very nervous, and he finds Sting, and I think he runs up and he's like Sting. I think there's only 2 rabbits left that haven't eaten fruit, and I think that they're ready to do it now. I think you should come out. You should come out soon. I think that Brickle's just trying to convince
convince them now to do it, but I think he's just about convinced them. So, will you come up with me and we'll watch them eat it, and then we can all be together again.
Very well done, my friend. And with his legs, he's caressing over your fur a little bit. I know we are friends, right? Let's go and find your friends.
And,
you know we can roll.
Okay, cool. So I think I'm rolling at it. I'm assuming it's shrewd.
It's shrewd.
Yeah, that's a -1 for me.
You should have eaten more from the cactus.
Do I get that? How I used that once. Was it just a +1? I don't know.
It's over, yeah. It's
Yeah.
out of your body already.
Yeah, I'm back to regular old
Mm-hmm.
dimwit prickle. Okay, here we go. A 7.
7 sounds good enough.
Yeah.
So she makes a demand. Sting makes demand. Right. That's what the move says. Provide you. Snow and demands. And you should be prepared as well for the ceremony. And hands you over a little piece of cactus fruit.
I think Prickles just eats it.
You just eat it.
Or maybe Prickle's in danger of having the cactus fall on him too. That would be tragic, right?
Indeed, yes.
Yeah,
Maybe
well, I'm leading Sting to directly beneath where we've talked about, I guess. Yeah.
Yes.
And now I'm also wasted as well on more cactus berries. So
yes, you're very based on cactus. And now, March, you're finally. When the two of them are waiting up there next to the cactus tree for the last 2 rabbits, will it fall or will it not fall?
Well, I've attempted to dig as much as I can underneath it to prepare. And as he's getting close, I'm going to start hauling out the last bits and putting my shoulder to shove it down on top of him. I suppose that's a dig roll.
Dig roll.
Alrighty. Come on, dice. Be nice to me. That's an 8, making it a 10.
Sounds so good to me.
Yeah.
Success. All right. You have 2 victims under you and the cactus tree. Can you describe to me how it falls on the 2 of them?
I suppose as I see Prickle bouncing up with this scorpion behind it, and I can tell there's, it's going to fall right where the 2 of them are. As I shove it, it teeters slightly, and then the ground gives way on that side. And as it begins to descend, I will push up, and my hand will come above ground. Prickle, move, boy, move!
Too late. Nothing to see from Prickle anymore. The cactus tree smashes to the ground. The whole, like an earthquake, the whole warren is shattered. Much more than it should be from this simple cactus tree. It must have been much more than just a cactus tree. Nowhere Prickle to be seen, nor the scorpion. Sting is gone as well. The 4 of you, the 3 of you, meet up there, and Prickle, you have a special move. How do we see? How do we see you again?
I don't actually even know if I'm I actually like to think it's gonna be like, it's not going to be now, it's going to be like months from now maybe, that I'm back somehow, but
you're marked by the Black Rabbit.
yeah, I'm happy to I'm happy just to be out of the scene and have that as a
cliffhanger.
I'm going to be back, but not now.
All right, nice.
Find no trace of him, sort of thing, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, he's just gone.
Cool. Anybody, any last words in this situation or a little bit later, epilogue style?
Shall we epilogue? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
I think my epilogue will be really simple. I think we see Ashpaw seemingly by herself as usual in her burrow, whatever space we've managed to carve out since the collapse of the previous tunnels. And I seem to be alone, and I think like if we're seeing it on TV, like the camera's like zooming in, right? And I'm looking like alone and like and kind of, you know, bunched up like I usually do. But then I think another rabbit, I don't know whose paw it is, but another rabbit like comes out of the shadow like next to me and puts their paw on mine, and I kind of ease up a little bit and relax and fall to sleep.
Nice.
That sort of segues a little bit into Brickle's epilogue. Having sort of one foot in each world, and being truly friends with all the rabbits. Brickle, to the extent that he can, sets himself the task of reuniting the Warren and listening to the stories of the cactus fruit eaters and sharing them with the non-cactus fruit eaters so that they can understand each other.
See you next week.
I imagined Marsh with 3 or 4 rabbits there in front of him. All right, you will be heading off that way towards the sun. You'll work your way around the rocks and back through. Unit 2 will be coming up behind and keep an eye out. No more of these hawk attacks. We know better than that. What do you think it is, Saturday? And smack one upside the head. And that's as the scene ends for him.
Yeah, I think maybe mine is Prickle emerging like a bit, like quite a lot further off, like from the Warren, from a little hole, and he's all, you know, he's a bit more messed up than usual. He's all bloody, and he's I think maybe he kind of limps like off into the desert. Yeah, I think that's I'd say he's probably like knowing he's largely responsible for a lot of the stuff that went on. So I think he's leaving on some sort of journey of his own.
Except we know in the movie that after the credits rolled, we would just see Prickle's paw burst out of the ground, right?
I was thought you were going to say we see the scorpion thing come up out of
right, yeah. It could be that. That's even better, right? The stinger like pops out. Like,
yeah, on a hallucinogenic trip. Yeah. Cool. Thank you a lot.
Awesome.
Our time is over. I might be on Discord now for a couple of minutes.
Yeah,
Directly after.
I'll head over there a few.
Does anybody here need the Discord link? I can send it to you.
If you want to send it to me, I'm not sure I have it.
I'll just post it in the little. I'll post it in the little chat here that we're on. Hold on 1 second.
I get the weirdest feeling this desert is close to Los Alamos. That there's some real fallout issues here.
Probably, yeah.
have to decide still who is running next week.
Oh, I thought Harry said he was going to do session 4. Is that still not?
No,
cool,
I said I'm more comfortable playing.
Oh, okay.
You got it swapped.
I will not be in next one.
I'm happy to do it. It's fine. I can close. I opened her and I can close her, I guess.
Sounds good. Yeah.
There's that Discord link though. I'll see you guys on there in a few minutes.
Okay,
See you. Bye bye.
I've got to go do family stuff, so I won't be
All right.
there. But
Good to
thank
play
you
with
very
Harry.
much. Good to see
it was
you.
a